It's me, is Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. All right, guys, so something very interesting happened recently that my friends have classified as a first world problem. When I came home from Cartagena, Colombia, which is beautiful, by the way, I was very excited about going to Cartagena because I like Colombia and I'd already been twice. So I really wanted to go and see another part of Colombia, which was Cartagena. So when I came home from my trip, I was talking online. I have a bunch of different like Facebook groups that I talk in, get ideas from, bounce things around with people. And one of the places I go to is a travelers group. They have one for African Americans. They have one for women traveling solo. It's a couple of them. I have like 3 different groups. And in one of my groups, they were having this heated debate about traveling. So as I sat there watching it, because I don't get involved in debates. I just watch people act stupid, to be honest with you, and look at them and like, let it amuse me for a moment, learn a lesson from it, and move on. So what I learned from it that I wanted to bring to you guys is that there is one very important rule when traveling. And I saw this in this debate, and I've seen it many, many times before, because the debate was about where to go. What are the best places to go to? And one woman was saying, not to go to hot spots, not to go to spots that everybody's going to, everybody's taking pictures on Instagram and, not to go to places like that. And then someone else was saying, go where the fuck you want, and that's me. That's what I was like. Yeah, that's me right there. Go wherever you want. So I wanted to tell you guys that the number one rule to traveling, for those of you who want to travel internationally or nationally, the number one rule in traveling is go where you want to go. You will get a lot of advice from people online. You'll get advice from family. You'll get a lot of advice from people. Some of it's well-meaning and some of it's haterade, to be honest with you. And sometimes it's just that the person may or may not have had a good time where you're going, but that doesn't mean that you won't. You see what I mean? When I came back home, somebody said to me, "Oh, I got stalked in Cartagena." They said this to me in the comment section. And I'm like, really? Like, are you exaggerating or did you really get stalked? Because I'm thinking to myself, I dealt with barterers. Some of them were even aggressive, like really trying to sell their stuff. But it never got past being annoying like once or twice. For the most part, I had fun bartering for things that I wanted, But this person said they were stalked. So I don't know if they were really stalked or if they just didn't like the bartering. They didn't like the aggression. I don't know what that was about. But had I had read that before I went, I might have been concerned. I might have been scared. I might have been fearful. If I had heard it before I even booked the trip, I might have booked and went somewhere else and missed the greatest, one of the greatest traveling experiences of my life. The seafood was to die for. So you have to be very careful with other people's perceptions and interpretations when traveling. Just because they didn't have a good time there doesn't mean that you won't. She didn't have a good time. I had an amazing time. Can't wait to go back, So you have to be really careful with that, because if a person is miserable in their state, they're going to be miserable anywhere else they go. And also some of the time something might not work out for them that worked out for you. Like in my case, I'm a barterer. Somebody who's not a barterer, who doesn't like doing that, and bartering is when you negotiate over prices. There is no set price on something and you negotiate back and forth. I don't mind negotiating. I think it's fun. But if somebody isn't good at it or they don't like it, they're not going to enjoy that kind of a culture. You see? So you have to look at something for yourself before you decide if you want to go somewhere or not. A friend of mine was telling his wife about going to Costa Rica, which is where I'm at now, which is where I'm at most of the time. And his wife said, people get kidnapped and they turn up missing in Costa Rica. And I bust out laughing. I was like, people turned up missing in the United States. You know, like, seriously, look at your missing and exploited children list and tell me people don't go missing every day. Several people. And now with this exploitation, harvesting organs, people are, you know, saying that people are kidnapping people and stealing their organs from them, sex trafficking. So this kind of thing can happen anywhere in the world. But she was afraid, like, you know, I hear people go missing from there. And I'm like, I hear people go missing from your town. So, you know, I think that you have to be really careful with what people heard, you know, and even what they experienced. Like I said before, somebody's experiences may not be yours. A friend of mine wanted to go to Israel a couple years ago. She really wanted to go. She's a Christian and she is, you know, a Bible person. She wanted to see and experience the places that Christ experienced in the Bible. So we were all like, what? You going where? I mean, we were all like, girl, bye, you know, not because we have anything against Israel, but because watching the news in the United States, whenever you hear Israel, you see what? Unrest, shit blowing up, fighting with this one and that one, armies, stuff like that. And it's no disrespect to Israel or Israelis, because I knew a girl from Israel in high school and she was a really sweet person. So it's no disrespect to them, but it was just that I didn't want my friend to be caught in the middle of social unrest. So we were all scared for her. We were like, why would you even want to go there? But she wanted to go and told us to mind our business. And she packed her bags and she went. I prayed for her every day that she was there. She came back with the best stories, the best pictures, the best souvenirs. She had the most incredible time. So you have to look at it and take things with a grain of salt. A place I would have been scared to go to, she went to and loved. You see? So the biggest rule in traveling is go where you want to go. And if you want to get people's experiences that have been there, don't ask one person. Ask 50. Go online and Google reviews. Look at 50, look at 100 reviews of different people and look at different people, couples with kids, whatever your situation is. If you're African American, look at African American sites where people review and see, were they treated badly? You see, some places you go to might be racist and you might not want to go there. Or somebody else might say, yeah, I had a great time. They treated me wonderful. So you want to look and you want to get like a general consensus and kind of, you know, look and see how many. If 50 people had a great time, it's probably a safe assumption that you may have one too. If 2 or 3 hated it, look and see why. Maybe they're just a miserable person. You see? So really allow yourself to research is my point. Because like I said before, if I had listened to that woman, I would have missed an extraordinary situation. I would have missed an extraordinary beach trip. And if my friend had listened to me, she would have missed an extraordinary trip to Israel. So if you want to go somewhere, if it's a city, if it's a country, I don't care what it is, research it. There's positive and negative things that go on everywhere in the world. You can't be in any sheltered rear. There's nowhere you're going to be where nothing ever goes wrong. Everywhere something is going wrong all the time. So do your research. Find out what the laws are. Find out about the taxi drivers, because some places the taxi drivers are very dishonest and some places they're not so bad. So you really want to research and look and see, you know, who has Uber. I always recommend Uber when you're traveling to get past the whole taxi thing. The food, the laws. You know, you don't want to get caught breaking the law and will you get arrested? Those kind of things. Really take your time and research for yourself and come away from allowing other people's opinions and other people's perceptions to guide where you go on your vacations, or if you go on vacation in a specific place. Because you never know. You might miss out listening to somebody who God knows why they had that experience. You see? And like I said before, sometimes things, I'm the kind of person that things usually work out for me. As long as I do the right thing, and some of you may have seen this in your own life too. I've always noticed that as long as I do the right thing, a lot of things work out for me that don't always work out for other people. Everybody's different. Your personality is different. The vibration that you're bringing is different. The energy you're bringing is different. The people that you're bringing are different. Everything is different. So be really careful with that. The number one rule, go wherever you want, but research it very critically first. Look at it from every angle before you do so. Okay? But by all means, travel. That's one of the best things you can do to broaden your horizons and to get to know about different people and different cultures. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for welcoming me back. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may need to hear this message. Okay? I'm going to leave all my information underneath here, because if you would like to get a tarot or an oracle card reading, I would love you to email me. If you have a general question, I would like you to email me as well, or leave it in the comment section. If you would like to leave me a donation, please, I'll leave my, my PayPal, and I'll leave my Amazon wish list. Likewise, I think that's it. Oh, I'll leave my social media in case you want to hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram. All right, guys, I will see you pretty soon, because as always, I have a lot more to say.